What is good, MexitPlanners? Today's video might stir up some discussion, but I think it's important to address a topic that's been on my mind and hopefully foster a better understanding between my Mexican audience and those considering moving to Mexico. As an African American living in Merida, I've experienced firsthand the challenges and joys of making this beautiful city my home. However, whenever I post on TikTok, I'm often met with some harsh comments. So harsh that I've decided to disable comments on more than one occasion. This got me to thinking, what do locals really think about families like mine moving to Mexico? The best way for me to find out was to ask the internet, where much like alcohol, a little anonymity tends to bring out people's true feelings. So I took to Reddit to get some real answers, and what I found was eye-opening. Some responses were supportive, while others, not so much. Let's dive into what people had to say and what it means for the future immigrants planning to move to Mexico. I'll also share my personal experiences after living in Merida for the last 5 years. Let's get it. On Sunday, I wrote the following post in Spanish in the Yucatan subreddit. Soy un extranjero afroamericano, me mudé a Merida casi hace 5 años. Me encanta Merida en Yucatán. Me gustaría ser un ciudadano de México este año. Cuando yo posteo videos a TikTok, recibí muchos comentarios. Les me dijeron a salir México. Entonces, yo pregunto, ¿qué piensas usted sobre extranjeros, en particular afroamericanos que quieren crecer sus familias aquí? Gracias por sus comentarios. For my English-speaking audience, here's what I said. I'm an African-American foreigner that moved to Merida 5 years ago. I love Merida and Yucatan, and I would like to become a citizen of Mexico this year. When I post videos on TikTok, I receive many comments that say I should leave Mexico. Therefore, I ask, what do you think about foreigners, in particular African-Americans that want to raise their family here? Thank you for your comments. I highlighted my background to provide context and underscored that our cultural experiences are all unique. And I'm not just passing through, I'm here to stay. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Mentioning my race and culture seemed to hit a nerve with some people. One response that stood out said,
I realize that you mentioned you're African American. I would prefer not to bring your racist and divisive policies here. Nobody wants your grievance policies based on race. Leave that behind and you're welcome.
Out of 63 respondents, 10 commented on race and background, with most indicating that locals simply don't care about nationality or race of foreigners as long as they contribute positively to the community and don't cause problems. To give you a clearer picture, I've created a graph that breaks down the themes of the comments. As you can see, the largest portion of the responses focused on the economic impact of foreigners and concerns about gentrification. Cultural integration and the need to respect local customs also came up very frequently, while only a small number of comments were directly about race. Many responses highlighted the need for integrating into the local culture without trying to change the way things are done in Mexico, and more specifically here in Yucatan. That was a common theme in the group. One of the respondents said,
even though they say they come to contribute, that's not what happens. They don't come to learn, they come to impose, and I say this because I work with them. Their social circle is always the same, even though they claim they want to integrate into the society that welcomes them. None of that is true.
Someone else said,
that they see Mexico as an opportunity, which is cool, and I hope that they like to live, and above all, that they respect our culture and do not try to impose their own.
A third person said,
everyone is welcome. Just remember that this is not a resort, it is a real city, with its advantages and disadvantages. No one likes a person who comes to do his own thing while disturbing or wanting us to adapt to their customs.
One surprising theme that came up a lot was the perception of Yucatecos to outsiders, even Mexicans from other parts of the country. One person wrote,
friend, I was born in Yucatan, but I don't live there anymore. But since I have family, I know what people are like there. The problem isn't that you're from another country or anything you might initially think. People in Yucatan simply don't like people who aren't from Yucatan. They simply don't like people from the outside, even if they're from a nearby state like Veracruz or far-off ones like Sinaloa. My point is that you should know in detail what it is that they don't like. They are reasonable people, but the majority have some very outdated ideas about things and others hide it to appear agreeable.
Another person said,
the true Yucatecans no longer want people from anywhere to come. It's nothing personal, nor is it racism or xenophobia. It's simply the quality of life has drastically decreased in recent years.
Comments on the economic impact of foreigners and gentrification was the largest group of comments, with many people stating the following.
The problem is gentrification. I would like to live comfortably in my city, but every time more foreigners arrive, it becomes more difficult because of the cost of housing. I don't hate foreigners, but I do hate the way the world works.
Another person commented that
it's the purchasing power that catches attention, not the fact that you're a foreigner. Together with the upper class of natives, foreigners begin to segregate the common class of the population and make the economy more expensive.
One of the outlier comments on the economy was this guy.
They are bringing to me a lot of income. I'm Yucatecan and live in another country, and I have a very different quality of life thanks to all the foreigners who are coming to live and rent in the historic center of Merida.
In addition to the shocking comments, there were many supportive comments. One person said,
come live here and ignore the negative comments on the internet. What I can affirm is that you should pay attention to what has already been posted here. Every true has already been said, and in general, they are quite accurate. I would say from this experience, my dad, who is also a foreigner, loved living here in particular.
And a final person said,
as long as you pay taxes and provide jobs, good jobs, to people that help the community and don't litter, we don't care if you're black, pink, purple, or violet.
So what do you think about all the points raised in the comments on Reddit? Have you experienced something similar, or do you see things differently? Let's get a conversation going in the comments below. Now, bringing this home, I told you I'd tell you about my own experiences. Living in Merida since 2019 has been nothing short of remarkable. I haven't experienced a single racist incident here, which is incredible considering the daily microaggressions people often face in the United States. I've been treated with nothing but respect, and one of the things that I love most is existing in a place where my skin color isn't the first thing that people see. As a guest in this country, I've always felt it's my responsibility to truly immerse myself in the culture, learning the language, understanding the traditions, and embracing the customs. A big part of this learning has come from our daughter being in a local private school. Through school events like birthday parties, we've gained insights into the community's way of life. For example, we were surprised and very touched by the practice of gift giving at birthday parties. Here, it's common for every child in a class to give a gift, even if they can't attend the party. Also, birthday parties at schools are on a whole other level. Birthday parties in general here are on a whole other level. It's a thoughtful tradition that we've come to appreciate, and we've learned to prepare with gifts for when it's our turn. The first couple of times we were like, oh, that's so cool, not realizing that we were supposed to do the same thing. It's small things like this that have made us feel more connected and welcome. Beyond school, our triathlon team has been a big part of our lives. Through these relationships with both our teammates and the parents at the school, we found a sense of belonging that has made our experience in Merida truly special. It's through these genuine connections that I measure my time here. I am very thankful for those who took the time to educate and encourage me, and I'm even thankful for those who shared their honest opinions on Reddit. My channel has always been about showcasing the best of Mexico and helping others make a smooth transition. Having tough conversations is a part of that journey, and knowing how we can minimize our impact on our host communities will help us contribute to everyone's well-being, not just the well-being of our immigrant families. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button and subscribe for more content on life in Mexico. And hey, if you're thinking about moving to Mexico, check out the videos over here. And until next time, MexitPlans Monty, I'm out.